Hello, friends. This is Jimmy Singh, broker, owner of Supermax Realty, 647-961-2639. Or you can reach me via my website, www.supermaxrealty.ca. So, friends, I was actually heading to a listing appointment, and then somebody called me, and he's looking to get a real estate license. And I know his family for a long time, so he asked me any tips and pointers, what to expect in real estate business, as a salesperson in his first year. And he asked me a question which is not often discussed, that is how much an average agent makes, in first year or second year. So in this short video, friends, I'm going to discuss and give some tips and pointers. So for new agents who are looking to join real estate as a career, and give you breakdown on how much average agent net in Greater Toronto area. And the numbers I'll give you guys, you can take these numbers pretty much apply to any market, whether it's London, whether it's Windsor, whether it's Sarnia, whether it's Windsor, and Kitchener-Waterloo. They're pretty much the same. So, friends, real estate is a very rewarding career, right? But you need a strong will to succeed in this uber competitive field. And a lot of people who join it, they are just purely joining to look for financial gains, right? And there was a research done. There's a big turnover rate in this industry, meaning a lot of people join and a lot of people quit within first couple of years because there's no guarantees of the income, right? So one thing, friends, I learned is in any profession, if you don't do what you love, you won't do with much conviction and passion, right? And I often hear, in sales that they said, it's just a numbers game. Friends, don't treat people with numbers. I hear some coaches, still they have same system since 1980s or 1990s that they say it's always a number game. Personally, I don't like that tone, right? So friends, we are in people's business and we have to treat everyone with respect instead of being a pushy, sleazy salesman. Remember, we don't live in 70s or 80s, and suddenly the technologies have evolved and people have access to real-time data on their fingertips. So if people want to find a home, all they have to do is just go Google and they can find any home in Ontario, Toronto, Hamilton, London. And but people need advisors. People need counselors and they want somebody to help them with their life's biggest decision. And third thing, friends, don't take real estate sales career as a 9 to 5 industry. So the gentleman, called me. He has a full-time job. He's looking to, come into our field. So I told him it is not a 9 to 5, and learn to work, 7 days a week, 12 to 18 hours a day to be a trusted real estate advisor. Why? Because right now the market is very dynamic. It changes minute by minute. There's house prices records being set every time, and the mortgage rates or lending guidelines changes all the time. So you have to be on top of your field. You can't join as a side hassle and not be serious about it, right? So you need a really good mentor, or you need a really a good coach, or you need a really good broker to assist you so you can be a knowledgeable, trustworthy advisor. And at the end of the day, friends, to be a trusted advisor for people who you deal with, let people take time to come to their own decisions, right? And there was a survey done many times in North America by real estate councils, and they said 70% of home buyers or sellers, they don't use the same agent twice, and there's a reason for that, right? You guys can figure it out yourself, right? So one thing I want to tell you guys, to be successful and in this business as a salesperson, you have to be consistent in your daily activities. You can't do one thing one day aggressively, and then if the result doesn't come, you give up easily. because this is all a mindset, brother. I told him, I said, it's very, very important that you have to be consistent in your activities and you do your actions, do your karma. Don't, believe that if you do anything, you're going to get an outcome like that. Like if you post an ad, you feel I'm going to get a 20 calls. It doesn't work that way. You are not selling a pizza that you send a flyer and says, I'm the, very nice guy, call me to list your house. It doesn't work that way, because real estate is one of the biggest investments people do, and they need to work with people they trust, right? So obviously, if I have a pizza coupon at my house, I don't know the company. I know, what's the risk? Maybe I'll spend $5. If I don't like pizza, I'll throw in the garbage, right? But real estate is a different industry. And get, guys, a good mentor or a coach, and join a brokerage where they don't think you or treat you as their own competition, right? That is very, very important. And they spend time counseling you, mentoring you on mindset, marketing skills, essential negotiation skills, people skills, and most importantly, friends, financial and business planning skills, goal setting. That is very, very important. So, friends, when I started my own career 15 years ago, I started in Hamilton as I was living in Stony Creek that time. And that time, friends, I have zero, nada. I have no friends, no family in Canada, and I have no clients when I started, right? And I was actually renting, the cheapest apartment in Hamilton because, I was single, and at that time I don't have much savings. But I have a very strong drive to succeed irrespectively what life throws at me. And you have to be open-minded and willing to learn, right? And most of my clients during my initial working years as an agent were not even from my own community. So I'm an Indian. I speak bunch of different languages. But in 2003, 2004, 2005, the demography in my neighborhood in Stony Creek was mostly East Europeans, Italians. So I started my career selling real estate to people, and I love it. I love, and I learned a lot, right? And in today's video, friends, the question placed by the person who called me a couple of minutes ago, that he was looking to join a brokerage, and he asked me, Jimmy, how much an average agent makes. So he has a solid job already with the Fortune 5 companies, and he want to join our brokerage. So friends, one thing, be very, very clear. If you want to be a successful business person, or you want to join real estate as a career, it doesn't matter how much you make, it is how much you keep. You might see on your T4 that you make 200,000, 250, half a million, 100,000. But one thing I'll tell you about myself is, from the day one, I was never driven by awards. I work with one of the top, brokerages in GTA. I work with top brokerages in Hamilton pretty much all my life. And one thing I want to share with you, which is very personal and which has a very profound impact on me, was a conversation I had one, evening with a deal secretary who was working in that brokerage. And she said something very profound and impactful that actually changed my perception at very early part of my career. And I want to share with you the new agents that will help you, right? So she told me, Jimmy, don't look at all those fancy cars you see in the parking lot, all those Beamers, all those Mercedes. Don't look at that, right? They are mostly almost leased. And some of the office, which in my mind earlier, I thought are super successful and they have everything to the T. She told me they have lots of issues with CRA, tax agencies. They owe a lot in back taxes. So every second year they have to refinance their house, and then they spend a lot, and then they actually don't save much, right? Because to create that perception of being successful to sell 100 houses, it costs a lot in marketing, right? And at that time, pretty much it was print media and all. So to get a page in a magazine or a newspaper, that was very, very, very expensive, right? And friends, without naming anybody, I know that some of them over the years, I see them getting divorced, right? Because there was no work-life balance. And as I said, real estate is a very taxing career if you don't have a balance. So you have to prioritize what time you spend with family, what time you spend, with the clients. But you have to be willing to work longer, harder hours. It's not walk in the park. So that very moment when I learned that, I made the decision I want to take a route, which doesn't lead to, headaches and heartaches, right? And friends, as a humans, we learn from either others' mistakes, or we make our own mistakes. So you have to decide whether you want to learn from other people's mistake, or you want to make your own mistakes and spend life, repenting on them, right? And personally, my motto in life is slow and steady wins the race. So in your school time, in your kindergarten, if you heard the story about hare and turtle, so in that story, I'm the turtle, right? I am very steady, I'm slow, but I'm very focused, right? And fun thing is, friends, I financial plan every year how much income I'm making, how much taxes I will owe, and how much HST I owe to CRA. And most of the times when the time comes at the end of the year, my brokers used to ask me, Jimmy, your income is coming this much, you will qualify for such and such award, right? Because what happened in our industry, there's different tiers, like you make certain income, they give you different awards, right? And for me, that was not very important. Why? Because I don't see any logic bragging for $100 trophy and end up paying $30 to CRA just to show how great salesman I am, right? It is absurd, because I believe the true success is the loyalty of your clients who refer you their friends and family over the years. So I've been more than 15 years in the business, and bulk of my business still is from previous past clients, because they trust me. So irrespective, somebody is living in Hamilton, Windsor, London, Kitchener-Waterloo, Brampton, downtown Toronto, they know that if they call me, I'll take very good care of their friends and family, right? So now, friends, we're going to talk about some dry numbers. So people who love numbers, they should get their calculators ready. So this is a data from Toronto Real Estate Board for 2019 for the agent's production level. How many houses average agent in Greater Toronto area sells? And they said in 2019, there were 56,329 agents in Toronto. And right now in 2021, there's close to 70,000 agents. And the data, as per the Toronto Real Estate Board, said 36.48 agents that year, which is 20,550 agents did zero deal in 2019. They said 45.23%, which is 25,479 agents did between 0 to 5 deals. So if you add the top two brackets, it comes down to be 81% agents. So you can see 81% in agents in 2019 did less than 5 deal, guys, right? And they said next 11.15% agents, which equate to 6,283 agents, they did between 6 to 10 deals. 4.90% agents, which is 2,758 agents, they did between 11 to 20 deals. 1.69%, which is 955 agents, they did between 21 to 37 deals. And 0.36% agents, which is 205, they did between 38 to 64 deals. And less than 0.18 agents, which are roughly 100 agents in GTA, they did 65 plus deals. And guys, remember in our industry, many high volume agents have a big teams. They might have 5, 10, 20 agents. They might say we sell 300, 400, 5 houses, but there's like 25 to 30 people who are working behind the scenes, and all the transactions are recorded under the team leader. So there might be one leader who just, market for the business and seek new customers, and then he distribute to his team to do all the deals, right? And have you ever, guys, wondered, sometime you drive in a city and pretty much every billboard or every sign says all the different agents claim to be number one? Have you ever wondered? Every agent says I'm number one, ever number one. How can every be number one? I haven't seen advertising saying I'm a number 2. I wonder why, right? So be very careful when there's advertising. Real estate council is very, very clear. You have to put a disclaimer saying what number 1 means. Does number 1 means you're number 1 as per your mother? Does number 1 means that you are number 1 agent for a month? Does number 1 means that you're number 1 in your office? And then how many agents in the office? Does they have 5 agents and you're number 1 out of 5? Or it has 100 agents, 500 agents? Or you're number 1 in your postal code, in your city? So guys, marketing has to be clear. So as a new agent, before you do any kind of marketing, be very careful what perception you want to create to the public, right? And now I'm talking about, income expense, how agents get paid and how much money at the end they put in their pocket. So how much moolah you makes. So let's talk about, average city like Hamilton, London, average house, let's say for example, is $500,000, right? So typically the commission paid to the buyer agent is 2%. So 2% of $500,000 is $10,000, right? Or if you're selling $1 million house, guys, 2% make 20,000. So let's crunch the numbers. So let's say in your first year, you make a gross income of $100,000. Friends, out of that, there are some expenses. So let me break it down for you. If you join as a new brokerage, typically brokerage have splits of 10 to 20%. There might be some brokerages who give you more generous splits, but you have to really see what you're getting out of it. Is there any training? Are you getting inspired to work for them? So let's put example, 10% split. It means out of 100,000, 10,000 goes to the brokerage. Second biggest expense, friends, is your, how much you spend on your marketing, on your insurance, on your board fee, on your car insurance, putting gas in the car, and then, you park in downtown Toronto, you pay for parking. And if sometime you are in a rush, you drive like a maniac, you pay parking tickets. Then you have cell phone, internet, house supplies, computer, laptop, marketing, education. So guys, over 15 years, I can see it, lot of people on average spend close to 20 to 25% of their income on these expenses. So let's say example 25%, and then that makes it 25,000. So 10,000 for brokerage, 25 for your expenses. And the third biggest elephant expense is your taxes, guys. Taxes. So if your bracket, you making 100,000, you are paying approximately $25,000 to $30,000 to CRA on taxes. Yes, I know there's changes for incorporation, but a lot of agents still, won't get any benefit out of it. So talk to your accountant. I'm not an accountant either, but on average, you're expected to pay $25,000 to $30,000 in personal taxes, plus whatever HST you get on your transaction. You have to remit the HST on each and every transaction. So that comes out to be 30,000. So if you add 30 plus 25 plus 10, you are at the end of the year left with only $35,000. And you have to also remember, there's a food, shelter, children cost. If you're a married person, you are left with 35,000 and it won't take you far. Let's say we talk about a bigger city. Let's say you live in Brampton, Mississauga. You make 200,000 or 250,000. Let's talk about 200,000. If the company charge you 10% split, that comes out to be $20,000. If you spend 20 to 25% on your marketing and other expenses, which I already told you, insurance, board fee, car, parking, house supplies, computer, it comes to be $40,000 if you're making 200,000. And then obviously, depending on your tax bracket, you will have a tax bill of $50,000 to $60,000, which you owe to CRA. Because if you go to $200,000, $250,000 bracket, your taxes are pretty steep. And all these, add up pretty quickly. So they come out to be $90,000. So you start with, 200,000 income, 90,000 goes to that. And if you have a house in Brampton, Mississauga, your housing cost is pretty much close to 50% of your income because taxes are high, properties are pretty expensive. So 50% of 90,000, guys, make $45,000. And then if you have 2 kids, you pay for daycare, their expenses, you're looking again, $10,000 to $20,000 there. And if you drive a fancy car on lease, again, the lease, basically, yes, you can write off, but those are again expensive, guys, right? So one thing, as I told you the story about my deal secretary, I made my, first year, I was naive. I rented, Honda Civic, brand new. Obviously, I don't know how to fix the cars. But after that, pretty much I buy my cars. I don't care about leases because I find it's waste of money. It's just renting a house, you pay $2,000 a month, and at the end of 5 years, you have nothing to show for, right? So all the cars I have, it's paid for. I don't buy brand new cars. I buy 4 or 5 year old. They hit the depreciation, and I'll pretty much drive till it dies, right? So that is something, guys, you have to always do. And one thing I recommend to all the new agents is always keep 5 to 8 months of expenses in the bank. So if your check doesn't come for next 3 months, you don't get stressed, right? So if you're a new agent looking to join my brokerage, all the agents, I have like 2 agents. It's a family owned boutique brokerage. And as I said, for me, you are not just a number, you're my family. And I teach all my agents the importance of financial planning, a positive mindset, goal setting, and good system to build your clients for life. So if you're an agent living in London, or you're living in St. Thomas, Kitchener-Waterloo, west part of GTA, we are looking to expand our team, and I'm looking for some team members who can join me, and they will work along with me to help my clients buy properties with zero marketing cost. So if you're somebody taking brand new license, interested to join the industry and want, mentorship, 100%, availability and guidance, give me a call at my cell phone number. My number is 647-961-2639. And guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Or if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, smash the subscribe button. And if you want me to make more videos on career as a real estate agent, and you have any questions, leave a comment at my channel, Real Estate Edge with Jimmy Singh. I will revert back. And I hope you like the video. God bless. I'm already running out of time, so I have to head for my appointment. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. God bless.